Hi, and welcome to a very special edition of the Orvis Fly Fishing Guide podcast. Not only is it a video edition, but we have a very special guest today, Paul Fersen. Paul and I are co-workers. We're old friends. We do a lot of duck hunting together with my dog, Balsam, and good old Pickett here, who's joined us on many expeditions. But we're here in my den, aren't we, Paul?
Yeah.
You
wish it was your den.
This is my fishing den. Do you like it? No, actually, we're here in the new Orvis Fly Fishing School facility. This is the comfortable spot where we hold our Manchester Fly Fishing School. So, as you can see, they've done an incredible job in making this homey and almost like a lodge, right?
Right. Beautiful.
And speaking of lodges, we're here today to talk about Paul's new book. It's called Great Fishing Lodges of North America. It's a book that would be an absolutely perfect gift. It's anyone that loves fly fishing and loves the rich experience of fly fishing would be delighted to have this book. I know I'm going to ask for a copy for Father's Day. So, tell me about the book. How did it get started?
Well, essentially, I think if you've heard of, or if you own coffee table books, I think a name that resonates with everybody in that business is Rizzoli Press, and Rizzoli is world famous for creating these magnificent books. And they approached Orvis, and they asked me to help them put together this book on lodges. And so this book, actually there are two books, but this book is the first in the series. This is on great fishing lodges, and there's one coming later on great wing shooting lodges. Interestingly enough, we took the list from all of our Orvis endorsed lodges, and that's essentially where this list of lodges came from. But I think what makes it a beautiful book, certainly less from my writing, but the fact that Rizzoli truly knows how to put these books together. They do an extraordinary job of gathering the photography, gathering the information, and putting these things together, and they're magnificent.
So this book is all about lodges, fishing lodges, and where you can go to have an incredible time. How does, even picking up this book and reading it, how does someone pick a good fishing lodge?
Well, I think what's important about fishing lodges is, first of all, I think when you say the word fishing lodge, most people get this kind of general vision in their mind about kind of a rustic camp on the edge of the water, and the food's good, but it's very, very rustic and
home-cooked meals.
Home-cooked meals, exactly. And essentially, it's just a bunch of guys, and the waiters are hanging on the porch, and the rods are leaning against the rail, and everybody fishes, and that's the end of it. The truth is that there are some great examples of those. Libby's Camp in Maine, or Weatherby's at Grand Lake Stream. These are those classic great fish camps where you truly just go there to fish. But then the fact is there are fishing lodges that run the gamut from some of the finest hotels in the world actually have fishing sections with them. We've got a couple of lodges in this book. A perfect example would be Blackberry Farm in Tennessee. There's a place that's been ranked by Condé Nast as one of the top hotel in the world for cuisine and service. There are places like Lake Placid Lodge that are Relais and Chateau properties, and the designation for Relais and Chateau is absolute superiority in service and cuisine. And we have a number of fishing lodges that are exactly that. They are remarkable destinations, and they just happen to have great fishing with them.
But how do you use this book? Can you tell which one is like a Weatherby's, where it's kind of more old-fashioned, more classic lodge? Can you tell which ones are the really elegant,
If you're a fisherman looking for absolute technical fly fishing, and that's all you want to do, and it's match the hatch, and it's 6X and that type of thing, The West Branch angler on the Delaware is a perfect example. If you just want to go throw something in the water and haul fish in, you can go to Alaska and do that. I mean, and there's everything in between. So you can go everything from the most basic, but very good basic, fish camp like Weatherby's or Libby's. And I use the term basic here in that that's their focus. That's what they do. This is a true fish camp experience, all the way to perhaps the biggest and best you could, resort type thing you could find.
Mm-hmm. The one thing you won't see in this book at all, because you can't tell about this from reading the book, but it's something that Vern Bressler, who together with Lee Perkins, the chairman of the board of Orvis, way back in the probably late 70s or early 80s, formed the Orvis Endorsed program. Really, it was his brainchild to start this Orvis Endorsed program. And one of the things you'll find at Orvis Endorsed lodges, and one of the things Vern always told me was, I can tell if this lodge is the right lodge, is properly run, is the right one for Orvis in about 15 minutes. Because as long as it had the fishing and nice beds and nice rooms. But he said, if the staff is happy, truly happy, this place is well run. And I've found that to be true. And that's, I think, one of the things that distinguishes an Orvis lodge from any other lodges is the management. Because when we evaluate these things, we're very careful about how the lodge is run.
It's remarkable how quickly the staff, almost every time I've walked in, before I've even been introduced, they know my name. They know exactly who I am.
Yeah.
There was one place that I went to that it was almost embarrassing how attentive they were, to the point where I told the kid, the young man who was there, I said, I can lift this bag myself. It was like a duffel this big. They wouldn't let me touch anything, and everything was handled. And there are some that are a little more do-it-yourself, but still, the people that own it are truly invested in not only their business, but by being invested in their business, they're invested in your experience.
From the guides to the cabin people to the chefs
You
to
name
those.
it. You name it.
Yep.